the race to world first continues without, not honestly, an end in sight. And also, we have a bit of drama in terms of the perception of this race and CRCM overall in the Reddit. Let's talk about it. Subscribe to the channel for more content, and let's get into it. So, what are people saying? People are essentially, we have a few people being very happy about the race to worlds first on the UCM. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. It's so cool to watch these very, very good players go against a boss that is very, very hard, and they can't actually just go and actually kill it, right? And and being able to see how they solve the puzzles in this fight, and how they can actually get to the end without dying, and of course meeting the DPS check as well. So some people are definitely high. They're happy, and overall, I think most people are indeed very happy. As even the comments that are negative against this gets a lot of pushback from other people. But there's also some people that are not happy. For example, there's some people saying that, well, the fight is a complete waste of development, essentially saying that because the fight is so hard to do in terms of DPS, that it's not worth no one's gonna do it, so what's the point anyways. Honestly, I found this post kind of bad at the end of the day, because first of all, we don't know how the strategies are gonna end up going at the end. Doing big DPS is a huge important part of progression in raids, and especially in other games as well. This skill shoot doesn't have that much. And just because one fight has it, and sure, it may be a bit overtuned just so we can have an race experience, because let's be real, guys, if it wasn't overtuned, it wasn't very, very hard, it would just die day one, and there wouldn't be any, honestly, hype around this anyways. And I feel like, most likely after, the top two guilds, kill it, after Teapot and Snowcross kill it, I'm guessing that they're gonna nerf it anyways, so, people can actually go through and maybe in order to kill it, they don't have to literally be the best in the game, and I think that's fair. But saying like, oh, it's a complete waste of time, I think it's a bit too much. And I also think like being that worried about some of this, it's a bit unhinged, right? I do think there's a little bit of good point in the case that there are only 2 strike CMs a year, and we get something very easy like Dagda, and then we have something insanely difficult like this, and it's a bit of a mismatch, and the people that are in the middle don't get anything. And I think honestly that is a problem, and the way that you solve it is by having a different challenge mode, a middle ground in between normal mode and this, whatever this is. I'll just do normal mode, maybe, and make it a little bit easier than what we have right now, so maybe it resembles something more like what we have in Iceblood Saga Strikes. And then we have a CM that is more like Etherblade CM, Anka CM, and of course Dagda CM. And then at the end, on the literal end of it, we have something like Zero CM, which is like, I don't know, Nightmare mode or whatever. That way, we get a race. Even Nightmare mode can essentially be nerfed after the first kills, and then we're good, right? I think honestly that way everyone gets happy, and ArenaNet should be getting into that. I've heard some people say that the fight is not too good either, because it doesn't change that much in terms of how it looks in on CM. But I honestly I'm not sure if I mean, yeah, it is the same fight overall. It's just that most of the mechanics become way, way harder to deal with, and you have to do insane strategies in order to actually do this. But like, look, at the end of the day, just because it doesn't look hard, it doesn't mean that it's like, oh, they just got to 13.15. Holy fuck, that's insane. But regardless, it doesn't mean that it's not hard, okay? It would be nice if you get a secret 10% phase at the end. That I think that would be very cool. And we're gonna have to, wait and see if that actually happens at the end of the day. But yeah, it would be nice if it, had, some bombastic, very spectacular thing that happens at the end. So you feel like, wow, this is a CM, Like imagine if at 10% mark, it's not like a golem, but actually, the sky changes and, everything becomes dark and something insane happens. That would be very cool. And I hope something like that does happen. Regardless, I think that's kind of the situation right now. I think there's definitely good points on each part, but at the end of the day, I think that this overall is a success. A lot of people are watching, as you can see here. Sure, there are drops, but let's be real, guys, these drops are not that good, and for most people, I like them, but I think a lot of people don't. I think I think people are watching because they want to watch and see what happens. And having this kind of events is very, very good for the game, I think. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. Right now, we are at a very big impasse in the fight, as the DPS tech is very important, but also the green mechanic is very, very hard to deal with for most people. As you can see here, you have to react to it. Well, actually, in this case, they just passed through it because they pushed the boss. But you have to react to the green mechanic very, very fast, getting 3 people in each exactly. Otherwise, you just instantly wipe, which is very, very hard thing to do in like what 6 seconds, right? That being said, we're gonna see what happens. I think right now Snowcross is at 31% post patch, and Teapot is around 13.5%. So Teapot actually and his team from HS, they have a better chance on doing it. I think they're honestly more mechanically better than Snowcross right now. I think it's just that Snowcross has better damage, so that definitely helps them. Not to say that they're not both great teams, they are insanely good teams. I think it's just that the difference in both teams is a bit, Snowcross is a bit better at doing damage than HS, and I think HS is a bit better at dealing with mechanics. We'll see. Maybe this won't, maybe the mechanical advantage might not matter at the end. Maybe there's gonna be an insane burn phase that you have to do exactly, perfect rotations and doing some insane shit in order to make it. But I really hope that today we see the 10% in the last phase. They are 13%, so it might happen today. I think it's very likely that it does happen today. It's been 4 days, so I'm sure that I was talking to some of the guys and they're very tired. With good reason, right? With good reason. It's been an insane amount of days just doing this fight over and over again. But yeah, you should go definitely to Teapot's Twitch, to Cryphenix Twitch, to Lauren's Twitch, to Linka's, to Vivi's, to Planex, to everyone that is actually running this fight. I'm sure that I missed a lot of people, but just go. I'll put the link in the description of all the ones that I know, and you can just go in there and give them support, watch them. Yeah, I think that's what you should do. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you are having as much fun as I am having, and tell me what you guys think. See you guys around. Love you all. Bye bye.